The businesses that were here in Fall Creek were very different from what we would find now. There were sawmills, blacksmiths, and mercantile stores that you wouldn't really find in Fall Creek here today. If we didn't have businesses to depend on back then or even here today, we would not have food to eat, clothes to keep warm, or money to make a living.
One of the first businesses was a hotel located where Chicken Chasers is now. It was run by Mr. William Murphy from 1865 to 1869. Most of the people who stayed at the hotels were travelers from Oakland and Sparta. Another business was a blacksmith shop owned by Fred Caden. It was located by the stagecoach shop. It was right across where he lived. Most of the time, he would walk the 12 miles to Oak Lake for his materials. His materials included heavy iron rods that he carried on his back all the way home. In 1873, Simon Randall built a Gilton flour mill. It was built by the Falls of Fall Creek. It never got completed before Simon's death in 1875. Some things that the men did for fun was go to saloons, or as we call bars. It wasn't to get drunk, it was to talk and have fun. They had around 6 bars, so the men had a variety. If one of the men got too drunk or got in a bar fight, they would have him go to the Fall Creek jail for a night. Something that the women did for fun was go to the mercantile store. It was a store for everything. They had clothing, food, appliances, fabric, and more. They basically had everything a woman would need for their family. The mercantile store was in the parking lot across the bank where the ATM machine is now. The Melville Jewelry Shop was a competitor to the mercantile store. They were just a few buildings down. The jewelry store was in the old Christie's. In 1906, Yvonne Melville's father-in-law opened a business called the Watch Hospital. He fixed watches for people. Most of the customers that would come in were from the railroad. They needed their times to be exact. In 1950, the building was passed down to Yvonne Melville and her husband. A few years later, they changed the name to Melville Jewelry. Her and her husband fixed watches and sold and fixed house appliances, as well as sold jewelry. Yvonne loved working at the jewelry store. Most customers would just come in to talk. She was very sad to let it go in 1996 since she worked there for 46 years. It eventually got passed down to Christy and Roxy in 2013.
Christie's has been open for 5.5 years now. When they first bought it, they wanted it to be a bakery. They then soon realized that they wanted to focus it around the kids, so they supplied candy, chocolates, ice cream, and stuffed animals. The building was very small though. There was a very skinny area by the ice cream, so it was really tight if other people were going to come in there. About 2 years ago, Christie's moved to a new location. It was so much bigger. It is next to the post office and across from the dentist.
First started over on the main street, and we noticed that the visibility wasn't as great because as soon as you got cars to park in front of it, people really couldn't see our business.
Just this past year, a new business named Rejuvenate came in.
Definitely, I like being on the main road. That was one of the big things when I probably looked at 5 or 6 different locations before choosing this. So making sure you're knowledgeable.
It is a healthy shake shop. Cyril Gilbert, the owner, just loves working at a business in Fall Creek. She is a fitness trainer and she does yoga and fitness classes in her building.
I know when I walked in here and I was just like, this is it. Sometimes you just know.
Businesses have gone up because of competition. If 2 of the similar stores were on the same block or sold similar items, one of them would try to sell the other business out. Also, as we got closer to new inventions like cars, people realized it was easier to drive to Eau Claire and go to Target or Walmart. Target and Walmart are able to lower their prices. They have more people coming in because they're in a bigger city. Businesses in small towns need to raise their prices to keep their businesses running because they don't have as many people coming in.
Well, Fall Creek has fewer businesses than it did in the past. Fall Creek is home to some unique businesses like
Weaver! Christie's Cafe! Reimagine! Rejuvenate! Chicken Chasers!
We also have the
Unity Bank! Fall Creek Dental! The Corner Store! Walmart!
And lastly,
Fall Creek Mutual Insurance!
Throughout Fall Creek, businesses have been a good part of our community. In the past, stores helped us with what we really needed and not so much on what we wanted. Now, shopping is for fun and stuff we might want. They were a good part of our history and are a part of our future. The businesses are still growing and who knows what's going to be in the years to come.